Hey guys, what's going on? How you doing? I guess we're going to do a moment of silence for the people in Florida. Um, Give it like 30 seconds, I guess. I don't know how these moment of silence things go. I don't want to sound like I'm being mean or anything, but this will be one of the only ones I ever do because if we're gonna do a moment of silence for this, might as well do a moment of silence for everything else. Does that make sense? Somebody made the suggestion and I'll let it go. I'm not trying to sound mean here. Like I don't care. Because I do. I don't want to see people get hurt. But if we're going to do that, we're going to have to do a moment of silence every time somebody gets hurt.
Can we do a 10-cunt salute? Would that be better?
What?
We'll just all shout cunt 10 times.
Alright, so Christ. I don't want to sound mean, guys. I really don't, but I'm just stating the obvious here. Because we'll never get a show going if we have to do a moment of silence every time something tragic happens in this country. Something happens every day. We should have a moment of silence every day then. You see what I'm saying? I just don't believe in them. Not that I don't care, I just don't believe in them. So we're going to do a moment of silence starting for 30 seconds right now. Alright, so there you go. There's your moment of silence. I hope everybody, for those that passed away in that accident, I hope that their families, I send out my prayers and condolences to their families. For those affected, my prayers are with you all. But there again, I don't want to sound like I'm being a prick or a dick or anything, but it's just how I feel. I don't want you to think that I'm a dick, even though I am. But so that being said, y'all, we're gonna start off the show. Drew, you can go ahead and introduce everybody.
Oh, first thing I gotta say, Gator broke the rules. So do we have to start over?
No.
Fuck you.
I can't tell a dog to not bark.
Especially when it's hyperactive as Gator at times.
Alright, fuck it, we'll do the 10-cunt salute then. No, I'm kidding. So, tonight we've got, obviously, JP Baker in the house.
How
you doing tonight?
Well,
good.
I'm doing alright. A little bit annoyed with what happened, the news that we got today, not with the tragedy, but with the Fabulous Moolah thing. Here's my thinking on this, and I want to make this perfectly clear. If you're going to take the name away from the Fabulous Moolah, if you're going to take that, I understand what she did. I'm not condoning what she did or allegedly did. I understand that. But if we're going to take away from her, then we need to take the fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal away. He was a fucking alcoholic, everybody. He was an alcoholic. Let's remove Ultimate Warrior from the Ultimate Warrior Award. Let's take it away. He was a drug addict. What else? Drew, you said a couple of them earlier.
Well, I was thinking of it the other way around. Let's bring Chris Benoit's name back. Yep. Let's name the Hell in the Cell after him or something. Let's bring Hulk Hogan back into the Hall of Fame. Why are we not pulling Moolah out of the Hall of Fame? If references are being removed from her, why is she still in the Hall of Fame?
Obscured?
Yep.
Right.
It's
a double standard.
It's to me is what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and vice versa. What is good for the gander is good for the goose. So if we're gonna do this, then I don't want to have a fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't want to hear it. They better just change it to the men's WrestleMania Battle Royal.
I just want to say I could otherwise give a fuck, but it's the whole.
It's a match.
Fucking.
I agree.
The whole, it's the whole fucking social media interaction and the way people react to it, and it's got us not understanding what the fuck we want to believe in anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like, instead of having our own personality and our own thoughts, we're depending on social media to tell us what to think. And then WWE reacts. In this particular case, they react, and then they're stuck in a double standard because they're not standing up for what they believe in. Mm-hmm. If you want to have Hulk Hogan in the Hall of Fame for using the N, even though he used the N-word, if you want to have Moolah's match named after her, if you want to have Benoit in the Hall of Fame despite what he did, it doesn't fucking matter. Do one or the other. Quit trying to satisfy everybody. And if the fucking SJWs don't like it, fuck them. Fuck them.
I agree.
They can all go fuck themselves. You heard it right here. They can all fuck themselves.
I'm on your side.
I'm off my soapbox. You know me and that fucking topic.
Yep. Nope, you're good. You're good with me. Because I feel the exact same way.
Oh, don't forget, we have Rage Snake after this, so we can continue this topic on that show later.
Everybody's... Here's my thing, and I had this argument with fucking Shane Helms yesterday. On Twitter. Sean Ross Sapp, you fucking cunt. Call me a fucking dope one more time, fuckface. Call me a dope one more fucking time. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You can have your opinion. But don't come at me and say you're wrong because I don't believe in what you say. And that... I had this argument with fucking... And I'm calling him out too, Vito. Yesterday. Don't put your fucking religious beliefs on me and tell me that our president, just because he didn't acknowledge Stephen fucking Hawking's fucking death, why are people so fucking worried about what he fucking does? Quit doing it. You're doing nothing but ruining this country with this goddamn garbage.
Much love to my nickels in the chat.
Thanks for the donation, Johnny Ray. Much appreciated, my brother. And you'll hear it here in just a second. I didn't mean to talk over it. I just didn't see it pop up right away. Well, actually, I didn't talk over it.
No.
But everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you don't like my opinion, that's fine. I will debate with you, but don't tell me I'm fucking wrong. Don't tell me that science is the answer to fucking everything. Don't tell me that God is the answer to everything. How do we know? Drew, have you ever spoke to God?
I have, but he's never spoke back.
Okay,
like verbally.
Exactly my point.
But no one has had that.
I believe in God, everybody. Just so everybody knows, I believe in God. I am not an overly religious person, but I believe in God. I believe in hell. And we'll get to our topics in a minute. I just need to get this off my fucking chest because this was yesterday and I didn't do a show and I had to bowl. Otherwise, I would have streamed last night. But don't come at me and tell me I'm fucking wrong when you don't even know what the fucking answer is. Science is nothing but a bunch of hypotheses. Yes, some science can be proven. I'm not denying that. Math is a science. It is. And it can be proven through formulas and mathematics and putting the numbers together. But don't sit there and tell me that science is the all-be-it-all answer to fucking everything, because it's not. It's not. Because if that's the case, we would have figured out how to stay alive forever. A long time ago. It's just my belief. It's just my belief. But don't come at me and tell me I'm wrong when I'm not sitting here saying I'm right. Especially with this whole gun issue thing. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm telling you, I'm actually giving you what we could do. I believe in regulations, But I don't believe in banning guns. I don't believe that a fucking kindergartner should be out fucking protesting. Who does that? Let me ask you this, Drew. If your daughter was going to school and their school was protesting the walkout yesterday, you know what I'm talking about, that they did, would you allow your daughter to get out of school for that?
I would. I mean, first of all, depending on her age, she would have her own opinion, and I would respect it. But not without a long talk first. But I would suggest, if she's not going to do the walkout part of it, to either stay in the classroom or I'll just keep her home that day to avoid the hassle.
Yeah.
But that's disturbing the school day. So does that mean the entire faculty should be put in detention? Because how many times did you or people get put in detention for disturbing the fucking school day? They're not fucking learning. Not from that. A lot of them are being told what to think.
Yep.
And again, don't get me there. We'll be scrapping wrestling memories if I get started on that fucking topic.
Well, Johnny, and we'll get to our topics here in a minute. Johnny Ray Sinister, he's like, the problem we have today is that you can't have a discussion with a lot of people and keep it civil if you disagree. I have found that it's much harder to accomplish nowadays. And it is because of the fucking politics and the fucking... It's just so damn... Fucking Chad knows how close Chad, he didn't know how I kept my cool talking to Vito yesterday. He just didn't. He couldn't understand how I was able to keep my cool. I couldn't even figure it out because I was about to lose my shit. But yeah, I just wanted to hit on that stuff real quick. Look, if you want to have a debate with me, have a debate with me. Don't come at me and tell me I'm fucking wrong, and call me a dope, telling. We need to educate kids to stay away from dopes like you. Like me, what do you mean? Because I have an opinion? I got your fucking opinion. My ball's your fucking chin, you cunt. Call me a fucking dope. Yep, we see you. Is that you, Bobbitt, that sent that?
Yes.
Yeah, I seen you. So anyway, that's my introduction. How's everybody doing tonight? Go ahead. Go on to the next one. I'm sorry.
So, hi, JP Baker. Also sitting next to him is Tattooed Mistress Heather. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Are your ears all cleaned out after that?
No, actually, this one's ringing a little bit.
I'm assuming you pointed at the one directed toward him, but... and also, we have the guy that said he'd be right back, but he's still here, Foulmouth Bobbitt. How's it going?
Piss the fuck off.
All right. Would you mind sharing yours? And this could actually tie into wrestling memories a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
We'll just piggyback off of it into the show.
I'm making this announcement right here, right now. We're having another BCW pay-per-view. I'm not finalized on the name yet, but the main event is going to be a Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. If you don't like the name, suck my dick. I don't care.
You gotta love Bobbitt, people. You gotta love him.
And if you want to make a petition about it, stick it straight up your ass.
Fair enough, Bobbitt. Fair enough. We're with you, man. I'm with you. Look, again, I'm going to go back to this real quick, and then if you're going to take the name away, it's like what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and vice versa. If you're going to take the name off of one, take the name off the other. That's the bottom fucking line. Either that or change the fucking name. Give it, you can't call it Mae Young. Give it something. Call it the China Memorial Battle Royal.
I don't think they should call it the Mae Young Battle Royal anyways, because I'm offended by her giving birth to a hand. That just really offended me, and I'm going to reach out to Stephanie after the show and tell her I just can't deal with people who give birth to hands.
Yep, no, I get it.
Well, even with that, you can't call it that anyway because you already have the Mae Young Classic.
But anyway.
Not true.
But anyway, Bobbitt,
And Truckster's in agreement with me. Why not the Sensational Sherry Memorial Battle Royal?
She's got a checkered past.
Yeah, she didn't do any drugs.
The fuck she didn't. How do you think she died? I know you're kidding. I know you were kidding. Lundra Blaze. Why would you name it after her? She threw a title in the fucking trash.
To a company that they own. So I don't know. That's a. Yeah,
at the time,
I gotcha.
At the time, no. It's fine. They're to each his own. I mean, we can sit here and talk about that all fucking night, but I got something that. Did you want to start, Drew? Because it is your show. Why don't you start? Unless you want to finish with it.
Go ahead and hang on to yours. If we don't get any more topics from the chat, then we'll definitely get to it either way. But I want to get to a couple topics from the chat. And by the way, I've been typing it in the chat and I posted it on Twitter. But tonight is viewer's choice. So instead of us coming in with the topics, you guys have the opportunity to give us the topics. So type in the chat if you'd like a topic idea. Preferably tag either the Cold Bone Show or myself or even Bobbitt. I don't know if you chatted yet to where they'd be able to access your name, but it'll help us find it a little easier. And we'll do our best to get everyone's topics on. If we get a bunch of them, we may have to burn through them really quick, but we'll do our best.
Right.
So the first one I've got is memorable heel and face turns. This is from Truckster.
Okay.
JP, you can go ahead and start on that.
I'm going to. Memorable one for me, and the one that I never, ever, ever thought would happen was Stone Cold at WrestleMania 19. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, it was WrestleMania 19 or was it 17? WrestleMania 17, one of the two, where they in Houston when he aligned himself with Vince McMahon.
And The Rock took 72,000 chair shots.
Yes.
That's the thing that sticks out most in my mind, aside from the turn itself, was just the repeated whack, whack. I'm like, after a while, I'm like, you fucking killed him already, okay? You're hitting a dead man.
Yep. Yep.
Exactly, Truckster.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, the heel turn, the face turn that I remember the most. There's really never really been a memorable face turn for me. I mean,
they were all kind of expected.
Seth Rollins might be. I never thought
he's not really a face. He's kind of a tweener.
Yeah, well, so was Stone Cold though, but he was more of a. There's really no. Well, CM Punk kind of flip flopped a little bit. His face turn was kind of unique.
His heel turn was kind of weak when he turned as champion. It just kind of happened.
Well, he won the title as a face. Mm-hmm. He beat The Miz, and then he turned heel. He had 3 turns. He turned heel, or he turned face. He was face, then he was a heel, then he turned face. So he had 2 turns. So he was a face. He beat The Miz for the title, and then he did that heel turn, and then he turned face again when him and Paul Heyman, the Paul Heyman thing. But
so would that be a memorable face turn, or are you just kind of trying to get your thoughts straight on that?
No, I was trying to get my thoughts straight on the face turn, the face heel face thing with him. But there's really never been any memorable face turn for me. I mean, you guys might have one, and I'm like, oh yeah. But really, the heel turns are the ones the faces turning heel are my most memorable ones. Like Hulk Hogan is another, and we'll talk about that later. The face turns the heel that you would.
It just
never
so happens
think.
that's yours.
Yes, it is that you would never think.
Johnny put a good one in the chat.
Well, yeah, Mankind, The Rock turning face on when he was part of the corporation, and then he turned face and went with Mankind. And they did the Rock and Sock connection. That was pretty. That was pretty memorable. But other than that, I mean, there's really no other really ones that pop out to me. To be honest.
Here's your life segment.
Exactly.
And the problem is you can't recreate that, although they've tried. You just can't.
Yeah, you've seen
it. It was that. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, let's go, Heather.
Memorable heel turn for me would actually be Shawn Michaels.
Well, he was kind of.
That's a good one. The barbershop.
Yes, with the barbershop.
Yeah. There's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You had that, and then you also have where he went through the tweener stage of you don't know if he's face, you don't know if he's heel, and then Bam DX gets together. And it's like, yeah, he's definitely a heel now.
Well, the whole DX thing, and they were kind of tweeners because they were so fucking over when they started doing that it was just, you didn't care if they were a heel or a face. But yeah, there's a good one. What about a face turn? I see, face turns are so hard.
I've actually got a couple for face. One a little more obvious than the other. I'll let you continue.
I really don't have much for. I don't really have anything for a face other than what Johnny put in the chat already with The Rock and Mankind.
There's a good one. I remember that, Truckster. Boss Man telling Slick and DiBiase where to go and uncuffing Jake was a good face turn.
That's old school. Nice. Nice one, Track.
And then you have Hollywood Hulk Hogan going back to regular Hulk Hogan after his match with The Rock. WrestleMania 18.
Yeah.
That was one of those where it just happened organically.
Yeah.
It happened in the middle of the match.
And you can see where
And I
it
saw
happened.
him a month
exactly.
later.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I've got.
Damn you, Trek. Quit stealing my ideas.
Well, it's the reason why he's called Trekipedia.
Wasn't DDP
Exactly.
already a face when he turned on Hall? Because he did a diamond cutter on Hall and Nash. Or he did a diamond cutter on Hall. They were going to bring him into the NWO, and he did a diamond cutter. Yeah, I thought he was a face already. And they were waiting for him to turn heel. And he didn't.
Any more from that side of the television screen there?
No. I got nothing, man.
Okay. Mr. Bobbitt. What do you got?
Finally, no. Let's see. Memorable heel turn for me was probably like JP said. The biggest one was Austin joining the corporation, which nobody thought would ever happen, especially me. Another one would have to be when John Cena brought back out the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick when he fought The Rock at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know it was just for that one night, but still, that was crazy to even see that even come back for one night only. Face turn, Seth Rollins for me, because I actually hated Seth Rollins when he was heel.
When he turned on Roman.
Yeah, when he turned on Shield. I hated Seth Rollins when he did that, but when he turned face, that's when, I'm one of the biggest Seth Rollins fans now.
Awesome. Is that everything you got?
Yeah.
If you think of another one, you can jump back in. Mine will be pretty quick because I think some of them are already taken in the chat.
Check a
So the face turns, I had Virgil, which is the one Trek mentioned. Even though we saw it coming for, I think, the better part of a year, you were chomping at the bit for him to finally say, "Fuck you, dude." And it finally happened. And I remember, I've told you guys before, that's my earliest wrestling memory, is that face turn. That whole story leading up to it is my earliest memory of watching wrestling, like something that I can remember watching as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, like I said, this one sort of counts, but I remember being surprised is Mike Tyson turning face on Stone Cold. Even though it was kind of expected in hindsight, at that time at my age, I didn't see it coming.
You see the thing. I agree with that to a point, but you knew you could tell. And how old was I when that happened? Was that WrestleMania 14? That was 20 years ago. I was 25. So I was a grown adult, and at that time you could see that stuff coming from a mile away, that they were going to turn. They were going to put the title on. Back then, when they would put the title on somebody that there was too much of a swell of, this guy is who we want to be our champion. This is the number one guy in the company. He should have the title. And because they did it for Shawn Michaels, they did it for Bret Hart. What makes you think that they weren't going to do it for Stone Cold? So the whole bringing Mike Tyson in was a good thing because it got more viewers, and that's all celebrities are for the WWE, is they bring in more viewers. So him kind of not really even being involved in the match until the very end, but he wasn't a ref. He wasn't involved.
Wasn't he allowed to count 3 if the ref was down?
I'd have to go back and watch. I don't think so. I think he was just a ring enforcer. I think they called him. I don't think he was a ref.
Jesse Ventura was a ring enforcer once, and they allowed him to make the 3 count when the ref was incapacitated.
Right. Well, like
I'm
I said,
failing to remember the match. I just remember it was Jesse.
Yeah. Like I said, I'd have to go back and watch. I could be wrong. I'm not always right. That's why I have all you lovely people. Whenever I do my show, I'm not always right. I'm right 95% of the time. But yeah, I mean, it's just, if that was because ring enforcer to me is just somebody that stops people from interfering in the match. Does that make sense?
Right, but I know I've seen him count 3, or at least attempt to count 3 before. I just don't remember to what extent, other than I remember seeing Jesse do it.
Well, right. Either way, you knew they were going to put the title on Stone Cold, so you knew Tyson was somehow going to be involved, and he was going to turn face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could see it coming from a mile away. I didn't see it coming up until the Monday night before, the build. But yeah, it was good. Oh, they're doing the Pillman thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good face turn. It started an era. The greatest era of wrestling. It buried 2 companies in less than a month.
My heels would be Seth Rollins turning on the Shield. I don't think that one was mentioned. He was mentioned as a face turn, but I didn't hear anyone or see him mentioned.
Oh, you fucking froze.
And what did I?
You froze.
For a second.
It's all right. So just say what you were going to say.
I said Seth Rollins' heel turn.
Uh-huh.
I don't recall being mentioned, although his face turn was.
His face turn was a gradual one. No,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like an immediate face turn. It was a gradual face turn. You could see it coming. You could see the frustration building and building and building and building for him, and that was him coming back from his knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they put the title on Kevin Owens, I think. No. Never mind. But the build to him being frustrated with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon because they wouldn't put the title back on him. Then he turned face.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H turning face. I never expected him. Well, even though that he was a kind of a face when he was with Shawn Michaels and DX with the whole McMahon thing, but the face turn that he had the year that he won Royal Rumble, at coming back off his quad injuries, that I expected him to come back as a heel, and then the heel turn like no more than like a month later. that guy turned fucking face and heel more than the Big Show has.
Are you talking about his first quad injury, like 15 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, that was probably, that's got to be in the top 5 biggest pops I've ever heard. I mean, I can remember just sitting there in awe with my buddy. Ben, you guys have talked to him. Him and I were watching that. Of course, he was marking out like crazy, but I was just in awe at how loud that crowd was, because this was before they started fucking with the volumes and that.
Yep.
My other heel turn, and you'll like this since you said we don't have to stay inside the WWE bubble, is Bobby Roode turning on James Storm, Beer Money Inc.
Well, they were heels already.
They were faces at the time of the turn, I believe. If memory serves right, and Rude turned on Storm, and then what was it? They had that like that tournament where they had like scores. It was almost like hockey. They were going through a point system in this tournament, and the two point leaders got a match for the vacant. I think the title was vacant, and James Storm won it. Then the next week on Impact, Rude beat him for it. And it was like fuckage and everything. I'm forgetting what all happened and how it happened.
I know what you're talking about. I seen it. You're talking about Bound for Glory on TNA.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because they do a point system. Whoever ends up having the most points gets to pick their title. I think they get to pick their title match that they want, and now usually they go for the world title, but whatever.
You can tell I only watched TNA for about a year. If I'm like, oh yeah, they have some weird point system.
Yeah, it is. It was like 10 points for a win, 5 points for a count out or something like that.
Yeah, it felt like hockey. Like the way you win determined your points. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
It reminded me of the AWA when they had the Sergeant Slaughter's camp, and then there was another team, and they were fighting for points throughout the whole year or something. And it was just some stupid competition, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And if you were a team member of one team versus a team member of another team, you acquired points. It was in the late 80s.
Right, here's a heel turn, or face turn from a heel. Rosemary. If you don't know this story, if you've ever seen it? Mm-hmm. She was part of DK. I mean, her face turn was a little gradual. It was a lot like Seth Rollins' face turn, but nobody ever expected her to go from heel to face. Because if you've ever seen Rosemary and her gimmick, it's up there for one of the best women's gimmicks going today. It's up there with Asuka's. I'll put it to you like that. If you have never seen it. So, but that's another one that I could think of.
Here's another heel turn. RVD against Sabu.
That's true.
Against who?
Sabu.
Oh, Sabu. Okay.
Another heel turn would be Triple H on Shawn Michaels.
I was going to say, he never really liked Shane McMahon. What are you talking about?
This whole fucking story, I think, is what it is. I can't remember. I could be wrong. But, yeah.
Oh, the one more match thing for Shawn Michaels.
Chris Jericho turning heel when he beat both The Rock and Stone Cold in one night, the only person to ever do it. I don't know if you remember that. He was a face. He was a face.
I've got one, and I'm wondering if it technically is a heel turn, and that's
Heather.
I'm wondering if this one would count as turning heel or not. Remember when JBL bought out Shawn Michaels right before they both retired?
Yes.
And Shawn Michaels needed money, and he reluctantly did things for JBL because JBL would give him the money.
Yes.
But you could tell everything he put up Shawn Michaels to do, he didn't want to do. So he was a face at heart, obviously, but he was doing heel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So would you guys consider that a heel turn?
No, not necessarily, because he was being forced to do it.
Kind of like Virgil in the last several months of his thing with DiBiase.
Yes. And then fucking Michaels finally said, fuck it. I think he said fuck it, and they had a match or something like that, and he ended up getting out of his contract or with him.
Yeah, it was something to the point of there's not enough money in the world for me to keep working for you anymore. See, that was something that was written not that many years ago. Why can't we write stories like that today? I mean, it wasn't. I'm not saying it was the greatest storyline of all time, but I literally was waiting every week to see what would happen next. That was one of the last times I can remember chomping at the bit for the next Monday Night Raw.
Hey D Wells, hey TSS, sorry I'm not even paying attention to the chat.
That's why I'm taking care of the chat.
Yeah, she's taking care of the chat.
It is viewer's choice for some of the new people in the chat, so if you've got any topics, let us know. Preferably tag one of us so we see it, and we'll do our best to get it on air.
Yeah,
speaking of which, are you ready for the next one?
Do you want me to do mine since we're on this fucking topic?
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's probably a good transition.
One of the biggest heel turn, one of the biggest heel turn ever to take place is when Hulk Hogan, if you've seen the thumbnail for the show, the thumbnail is the day at night at Bash at the Beach when Hulk Hogan turned heel and joined the NWO. Now, here's what I really want to talk about. How was that whole match build? It was built as a hostile takeover, and WCW,
right.
like the announcers were like, "This is war." You know, and Bobby the Brain Heenan was saying it. Just bring all these guys on here, just beat their ass. Because there's only the two of them. And they had a 3-on-2. If I was booking that match, I would have beat the shit out of myself. Because how does that make any sense? 3 guys come out and they just stand there and just wait until, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go through the motions. This is why WCW failed at what they were trying to do, even though it got a pop, it got a heel heat, big time heel heat when Hogan turned. They could have ended that war. They could have ended that hostile takeover right then and there. The way that they build it, they shouldn't have built it as a hostile takeover hostile takeover. But they shouldn't have built it as a war, because war is not pretty, people. There's like, yes, we do Geneva Convention type things where we have rules that we can't break. Like, you can't drive an ambulance and shoot a gun. You can't shoot into a hospital. You can't shoot at a church. That kind of stuff. Or you can't use a church as a cover or a place where you can fire from or anything like that. You can't use it. That's cheating. This is war. This is wrestling. You don't want to get taken over. You do it by any means necessary. You end it right then and there. So the way that they build that was wrong. They should have never said those words. Or that one word. This is war. They should have never said it. The hostile takeover, yes, like they bring out the outsiders, and then all of a sudden they see people sprinkled throughout the arena is like, are these guys good guys or bad guys? They should have done that. That's a hostile takeover. 2 guys in a match with a 3-on-2, in a sense, is not a hostile takeover. Not to me, anyway.
That wasn't until years after this match happened, Rain.
Oh, yeah, that was way... This is like after Hogan 96? 1996.
Okay, nice to know, Johnny Holes.
Thanks for being here, Johnny Holes. I like cheesecake too. But I just wanted to throw that out there. What are your thoughts on that, Drew?
You're talking the verbiage that was used?
Just the verbiage and the way the match was booked. The match
as far as the verbiage goes, I don't really care. Whatever people want to do, I'm not easily offended by stuff. I mean, look at the shows we all watch. I think we're all pretty. We're of a low likeliness to be offended by things. Maybe for the country as a whole, it probably wasn't a good idea, but I personally didn't care. I actually thought it kind of struck me. This is war. I'm like, oh yeah, it is. As far as the hostile takeover itself, are you including Hogan's turn with this?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, as far as Hogan's character, it was time.
Yeah, he needed a heel turn.
It was long past.
He needed a heel turn. But here's I'll add to that. So I get it. It's wrestling. There's a show. They're telling a story. It's not real. I get it, guys. I get it. Hey, Gina. But the thing is, if you're going to tell that story, I mean, they could have very easily brought out the entire WCW locker room when that fucking happened and just ended it right then and there. It didn't make any sense that this hostile takeover, these 3 people are that dominant to do that. Take on an entire locker room all by themselves. Now, the way I would have done it is they come out and then all of a sudden, like, a bunch of them turned. Like, all their top guys turned, not Sting and all them guys, but you know what I mean. All them guys turned. Like, Lex Luger comes back out and he joins the NWO. Kind of like that kind of hostile takeover would work, if that makes sense.
Did he also come out with a piece of cheesecake?
No.
I've seen as much cheesecake as I've seen Hyde and Gina in the last 2 minutes. The cheesecake is as over as Gina right now.
Kind of, because, Johnny Holes with the I like cheesecake, and then Rain asking him what cheesecake he likes.
So, for those of you that are just getting here, Drew has made it a viewer's choice. What that means is you tell us, give us a topic, and we'll try to discuss it. You guys can talk about it in the chat. We have people monitoring the chat, and we'll throw your comments in there as well. Too easy.
Okay. Well, looking at the time, we probably ought to...
I just wanted... That was one of the wrestling memories, because I watched it. I was sitting here watching it, and I'm like, you know what? This match that they booked it. It was booked right, but it wasn't at the same time. By saying that this is a war. Cheesecake is the topic. There was no wrestling.
What's your favorite cheesecake? Hey guys, what's your favorite cheesecake?
Cherry. Can we move on?
I like chocolate marble.
I prefer poontang pie.
You're weird.
Bobbitt, what are your thoughts on JP's question of the hostile takeover? This is war.
Bash at the Beach 96.
Are we?
I think he's having trouble unmuting his mic.
You having difficulties, brother?
Okay.
We'll come back to you.
Let's move on to Cody's topic. Favorite SummerSlam moments? We'll start with Bobbitt. No, I'm kidding. Heather, we'll start with you on this one.
There's not many, to be honest with you. I mean, probably going back to like one of the first SummerSlam. No, not really one of the first ones, but one of the first SummerSlams that the Dudley Boys was involved in, with the first tables, ladders, and chairs match between him, Edge and Christian, and the Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my most memorable ones, especially because of Edge spearing Jeff Hardy off of the titles, hanging up in the air.
It was SummerSlam. Mm-hmm.
But there were so many different moments in there. I mean, Jeff's second highest ever Swanton bomb off of the balcony onto the Dudley Boys was SummerSlam. He's trying to smile, Gina, but his mic is not working with him still, I don't think.
We got a thumbs up from him.
Okay.
I just wasn't going to
Yeah, I'll talk now.
Okay, so real quick, we'll come back to that topic. I want to get Bobbitt's thoughts on what we were just talking about before.
Then you can go ahead and move into your SummerSlam moments and just take the floor for both.
Okay. As far as Tall Skull Takeover goes, I agree with JP on all of that. So my opinion is not much different from his when it comes to that. And as far as favorite SummerSlam memories go, it would have to be the one where Triple H came back and kicked the living fuck out of King Booker.
What?
All right. I don't think that was the year before I got back into it, so I don't have a memory of that.
Hey, Brain's got
Razor HBK match.
Yep, that's mine. That's because I didn't watch a lot of pay-per-views back then, but that was one hell of a match. That match right there, start kind of initialize the idea of, hey, we can do more with what we have. You know what I mean? So I like that. I love that. That's mine.
Wasn't the last Evolution and Shield match at SummerSlam the night before Seth turned?
I don't remember now.
Bobbitt, do you know?
I think it was Extreme Rules.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, that's right, because they were all over the ring.
Oh yeah, it was an Extreme Rules match. That was the main event.
Okay. Match Made in Heaven, Match Made in Hell, was that SummerSlam or Survivor Series? I think it was SummerSlam.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've probably forgotten more than I knew. Everyone's watching this going, this guy sucks. He doesn't know shit.
I honestly don't. I mean, I can tell you what happened on a Raw, but I don't think I could tell you unless I specifically have gone back to watch it on the WWE Network. Because I didn't get, I couldn't afford the pay-per-views when I was younger. I got to watch what happened in the aftermath. I did get to see WrestleMania 14.
Since we're kind of on a similar topic, I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. David, just to keep with the time of the show, I'm going to take one of yours. And let's go with WrestleMania moments.
Okay.
Bobbitt, you can start this one if your audio's still up.
Yeah, it would have to be WrestleMania 24, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair.
That's a good one. It was, I think it was a better emotional draw than it was a physical.
Was that the retirement? Was that the actual retirement match?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Career versus career?
I think it was only Rick that was on the line because he was told the next time he loses, he has to retire.
Okay. I thought it was career versus career. Okay. No, it's good.
JP.
God damn it. WrestleMania moment. And I've said this many times before. It happened. Trexter. Jesus Christ. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let me get it out of my fucking mouth. It's fine, man. It's the beginning of the Attitude Era.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week, the new host of Wrestling Memories will be Trexter with JP, Heather, and Bobbitt. Anyways, go ahead and finish, JP. I'm sorry.
No, it just, that match in itself was the story of that match. The beating Stone Cold Steve Austin took. He did. This was the storyline for him. The toughest SOB in the business today. The man, didn't matter if he was a heel or a face, he never, ever tapped out. If he lost, he passed out. He never said, I quit. I don't think he ever said, I quit.
Who, Austin?
No.
Fred?
Austin. I'm just talking about
never
Stone
did.
Cold. Do you want to talk about a character build? Stone Cold Steve, when they did that match, the build for him was so epic. And that match started it all. Do you want to talk about a fucking... Because he was a legit heel. You want to talk about a face turn, which he really wasn't turned face. He was more of a tweener guy throughout his whole career. But, yeah, that match, epic. One of my favorite moments, WrestleMania moments. Not because of the blood, just because of the storytelling in the match. Gina said the end of an era match at WrestleMania between Triple H and The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels as the referee. That was a good one. Gina also said Edge versus Mick Foley for the hardcore title. TSS said WrestleMania when Daniel Bryan won the title off of Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista at the same night. Undertaker versus Kane was a good one. Undertaker winning Undertaker winning the title was pretty cool too. At 13. That's my favorite WrestleMania of all time. Is WrestleMania 13. That really got me back into I mean, I watched it, but it really got me back into it watching that WrestleMania. I actually got to watch that WrestleMania.
Okay. Heather?
I'm sorry, me?
Yes. Your name is Heather.
I didn't hear him say a name. That's why.
Your name is Heather. Your name is Heather.
It's still Heather.
Uh-huh.
Sorry,
Are we done now?
Yes.
I'm actually in agreement with Gina. The hardcore match between Mick Foley and Edge. That's one of my favorites.
Hey, Heather. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back.
It's gonna be fun watching him get out of here.
Well, I'll go ahead and give mine. It would have to be Tito Santana versus the Executioner at WrestleMania 1. I'm kidding.
And Rain, that's just for you.
So, man, there's... maybe because I was younger. I mean, the Daniel Bryan one I don't want to overlook. I'll mention that one more time. But because we'd been waiting for that for so long. But I guess probably because I was younger at the time, but the whole Hogan, Bret Hart, Yokozuna thing at WrestleMania 8, it was whatever the Toga Party one was.
Uh-huh.
That one sticks out in my mind because I wasn't feeling the whole I'm done with Hulk Hogan because I was young enough that I'm like, oh yeah, it's still Hulk Hogan. but that one sticks out in my mind. Benoit winning, there's a good one, TSS. Benoit winning the world title and hugging Eddie at the end. That's a great moment. I can't believe I forgot that one. WrestleMania 9. I knew it was going to be 9 if I said 8. Damn it. Have you got...
Hugging Eddie.
Benoit and Eddie. That was a good one. I watched that WrestleMania too. That was a pretty good one.
Did you see the one with Benoit hugging the Bowflex? No, I'm kidding. We do have one from Alpha Excalibur in the chat. Favorite variations of characters that evolved. So, for example, it would be the original Undertaker evolves into the Ministry, evolves into the American Badass, evolves into the Hybrid. So, examples like that. We'll go with Heather.
It's a hard one. Because you got me growing up in the Attitude Era. You have the characters like Edge and Christian who went from being vampires to the extreme dudes to the egotistical bastards that we all love. They're one of my favorites. You have like The Undertaker. That was another one of my favorites. I didn't really latch on to the American Badass character as much as I latched on to the original, but I did still enjoy it.
What is this?
I don't know.
I don't know. This is...
Please don't kill me.
I'll kill you? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
This one's really difficult for me. I mean, the transition of Austin is another one. I mean, there's really not that many that I can think of. The Undertaker is probably the most prominent, but Stone Cold Steve Austin is one where he went from Stunning Steve to the Ringmaster. No, he went from Ringmaster to Stunning Steve, right? And then to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think. One of the two.
There was quite a few more between that because he went to ECW before he went to anywhere
Well, they
else.
just called him Steve Austin then. Well, I think that's where he got his Stunning Steve. Yeah, I mean, that's a hard topic for me because...
He was Hollywood Steve for a while, too.
Hogan, his transitions, going from Hulk Hogan to Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So, yeah, I mean... that's all I can think of. What about you, Bobbitt?
I've got 5 different ones that I really like. Would have to be John Cena, because if y'all remember when John Cena first came in the WWE, he had that fucking weird ass hairdo, and his first match was against Kurt Angle on SmackDown.
He was called the Prototype.
Yeah, it wasn't just a hairdo; it was the hot pink shorts.
Yeah, and he evolved into the guy that I respect, and the dude's my hero to me.
Okay.
Another one would have to be my all-time favorite wrestler, Stone Cold. Asuka, for sure, because reasons.
Yeah.
Triple H, and I might say Roman Reigns.
There's another one. Triple H going. Are we talking about favorite wrestlers or are we talking about transitions?
Transitions.
Triple H is another one who had transition. He went from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to he went from Terror Rising. Remember that? In WCW. And then he came over to WWF and he became Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Actually, Actually, Terrorizing was Edge. Triple H was Jean-Paul Levesque.
There we go.
No.
Trekpedia.
They were just
Holy
talking about it
Trekpedia.
the other freaking day. It was Triple H.
What the fuck are you doing?
Probably.
I'm getting a water. My water's empty and I'm getting parched.
So anyway, but he
Cheers.
did that, and then he went and turned into what we now call Triple H. And then he's the corporate shill, Triple H. To still be the dickhead that he is, but
It was Triple H.
So then he had two characters. Then what the fuck was Edge?
Edge.
No. He was someone briefly in...
In WCW, I don't remember. I know he was there, but he was a jobber, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Terrorizing. Yeah, there it is. So I'm... But he had a fucking name. I didn't realize Triple H was... In WCW. He was around that long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
To have two different characters. Alright. Fuck you, fucking Wikipedia.
Mankind. Big Foley.
Sexton Hardcastle, that's what it was.
Yep.
Damon Stryker.
Sexton Hardcastle was Edge.
And Conquistador Uno.
Exactly, Gina. I think he needs to change his name to that.
I don't fucking know. I need to stop drinking. I'm not even drinking right now, but it's obviously killing brain
If
cells.
you had all seen him last night, you would have agreed he needs to quit drinking.
Wasn't that bad.
Oh, jeez, fuck. But that wasn't because of my drinking, though. Other than the fact that I had a drink in front of me. It was the people that were with me.
Oh, it wasn't. Last night was who I was bowling with. Is my old team, so we just.
Oh, you're talking about JP.
Yeah, I got fucked up last night.
Here I'm outing myself. Fuck.
Oh yeah, I got fucked up last night. I was bowling with my old bowling team last night. I'm gonna start bowling with them next year. It looks like. I'm pretty excited, pretty stoked. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a few out there. Like I said, you just throw names out there. Like Triple H, another one. There's another transition. John Cena, yeah, he had the transition, but he didn't change too much. I mean, he changed a little bit. His transition from Thug John Cena to now John Cena really wasn't much of a change, but it was a transition.
Yeah, it went from Dr. Thugonomics to follow the fucking rainbow with all the goddamn colors he wears.
Fruity Pebbles. So, Gina and Rain were in there talking about Mick Foley, his transition. I mean, his transition, that guy his transition, he could do on a weekly basis.
And not to mention, he was the only one to ever have all three of his characters on screen at the same time.
That is true. He's the only person to have three characters on TV.
The only person to be in the Rumble more than once in the same match.
Yeah.
Bubba Ray.
He did 3 times.
Bubba Ray Dudley to Bully Ray.
Yeah.
That was a good transition. Diesel to Kevin Nash, but that really wasn't a transition, Cody, because he was still the same type of person.
Same type of character.
The thing with Kevin Nash is and Bobbitt, please don't take this the wrong way.
Oh.
Is that Kevin Nash is a lot like John Cena and Hulk Hogan. They have 5 moves, and that's it. It's whether or not... No, hear me out, Bobbitt. Hear me out. John Cena is much better at what he did, and that's why he could cover it up with his mic skills, and he could actually evolutionize some of his moves. They were all the same moves, but he could evolutionize his moves where he made it look like he's using more than five moves, but he's not. So don't take... I'm not criticizing John Cena. I'm just saying that he had 5 moves. If you pay attention, he only has 5 specific moves that he uses. But again, that's WWE saying, yeah, we only want you to use these moves, and that is it. That is why Roman Reigns sucks. That is why I am scared to death to see Shinsuke and AJ, because they aren't going to let them go. If you watch them two in fucking New Japan, in their match, they just went and they had a match. They were not held back. They were not, you can't do that, you got to do this, you got to go with what we have scripted for you. I'm afraid they're going to do that, and I don't want to see that. I want to see a 35-minute match of in-your-face wrestling with them two.
Did we get around to everybody on that one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mentioned The Undertaker as the example, so I'm just going to stick with that one. And with the time we have left, I've got 3 more topics. Let's do kind of a lightning round so we can get everyone in.
Yep.
And just fire it off really quick, maybe a very brief explanation, and we'll move on to the next one. Because I would like to try and get off a few minutes before Heather has.
And go!
All right. So, from TSS2, favorite Undertaker feud, Foulmouth Bobbitt.
Triple H.
All right. Heather?
Shawn Michaels.
Ah, damn it. Okay, JP?
Austin.
I'll do Shawn Michaels, but I'll also mention The Undertaker versus Undertaker. Again, the age I was at the time, I was compelled by it.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite or most memorable match ever from Reign Havoc?
Favorite or most memorable match?
Favorite and or most memorable. He didn't want to limit it to just one because it is wrestling memories.
My favorite and most memorable falls into the same category.
It probably should, yeah.
Well, no, for me, favorite and most memorable for me is the day that I was introduced to wrestling by my grandfather. Hulk Hogan versus Nick Bockwinkel, which we watched that the other night. It was the night that Nick Bockwinkel lost the title to Hulk Hogan, but then he had to relinquish the title.
There we go.
Okay.
Fuck you, Hulk Hogan.
What the fuck is wrong with you right now? Talking to the dog is fucking weird. Come on. Come here.
Go ahead.
Come on, fucknut.
I know you don't want to be in my
We'll stick to the same house and go to Heather.
There we go. Okay. Again, favorite match of all time and will always be my favorite. Is going to be the tables, ladders, and chair match with with the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudley Boys.
Do you want on the bed?
It's a good one. Bobbitt.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It would have to be Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega.
Really? This well, obviously the only one. Interesting. Mine would be Mankind versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. It's the one match my dad will watch, being a non-wrestling fan, and I could watch that one over and over.
I have lost my chair.
I'm sorry?
I have lost my chair.
To the dog?
Yes.
You'll see in a second.
Yeah, there you go.
You've also lost your mind, but we ain't going there.
No shit.
The last time I saw something like this, JD from New York had a cat run across his screen, and he tickled it or something. But
Well,
I didn't watch it. It was clipped on Twitter for the record.
it doesn't matter if you watch them. I'll tell you right now, I watched him the other day. Anybody got a fucking problem with that?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, motherfucker. How dare you? No, I really don't give a fuck. I just don't. I choose not to. Last one from David Wells. He gets 2 because he can, because I said so. Favorite AJ Styles feud? Bobbitt.
John Cena.
Okay. Heather?
Hasn't happened in the WWE yet, but Shinsuke Nakamura.
You beat me to yelling at her, so I'll let you yell at her. All right, JP, you got another one?
Oh yeah, no. AJ Styles feud.
Go on the bed.
Come on.
There you go.
Jesus
Stay
fucking.
there.
Yeah,
Relax.
I'll throw
AJ
out
Styles.
mine while you think, if you want.
What?
I'm trying to think here. He didn't have a feud with Finn. They've never wrestled until they met in the WWE. I don't know if Kevin Owens and AJ have had a feud either. Have they? Bobbitt and his ass have had a feud. I don't think they have.
AJ and Owens did.
Did
I don't
they?
think it lasted very long, but they did.
No. Yeah, it didn't last very long because they moved Owens over to Raw.
Yes.
Oh! Sorry. AJ and Samoa Joe and TNA.
There you go.
Motherfucker. See, that's what I was going to say if you wanted to spit something out. Damn it. All right, well, I agree with everybody. All right, fuck off. Show's over.
Hey,
Piss off.
don't forget there's one more.
Jericho would probably be, if I had to process of elimination, I'd probably go to Jericho. I don't remember his feud with Daniels, or I don't remember his feud with Daniels. I wasn't watching them, I would say that.
Christopher Daniels, watch TNA. If you ever get a hold of the archive videos, Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles, excellent feud.
Well, now you can just go to Twitch and click on their last show.
There you go.
They're killing it. Hey, little Bigfoot. Real Strong's up. Little man, how's it going?
That's a question for you.
Do I think that AJ Styles could beat Shawn Michaels? Okay, are you talking about now or back in the day? Now, yes. Back in the day, maybe.
It'd be a close fight, that's for sure.
Love you too, little Bigfoot. That's a good question, though. I mean, what do you think? Do you think AJ could beat Shawn Michaels?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I think it would be one hell of a match if you caught them both in their prime. And I'm assuming the topic is both in their prime or both at the same stage in their careers.
He said DX Shawn Michaels. I would say no because of his back. If you were talking
96, 97 before, yeah.
96. Oh yeah, I would say yes for sure. There would be a hell of a match, but I don't know who would win because it's too close.
I'd put AJ over.
Fuck yeah.
Just with AJ and how talented he is the Shawn Michaels of today. If you haven't noticed, that guy he epitomizes what everybody wants to see in a wrestler. That's why they consider him the best in the world today. Well, the WWE, I still consider Okada the best in the world today. And there's a feud. Okada and fucking Kenny Omega. You want to talk fucking matches? That right there, them two. Hell of
that match only happened once at Wrestle Kingdom, didn't it?
No, it happened like 5 times. They've wrestled like 5 times.
At Wrestle Kingdom?
No.
That's what I'm saying. How many Wrestle Kingdom main events did they have?
I think
just one?
Just that one. For the title, just that one.
Because I felt like they could have had a second, and then, kind of like Rock and Austin had multiple ones.
They had 3.
I felt like that's one that could have had a multiple run. Bobbitt, do you have any feedback on Little Bigfoot's question before we call tonight?
Yeah, Well, Little Bigfoot's asking questions, so I'm gonna continue to answer.
Oh,
but go ahead.
I haven't scrolled back down.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, Bill Bobbitt. You're good.
I'd say 94, 95 Shawn Michaels. No. But DX Shawn Michaels versus AJ, AJ would probably win. So that's all I gotta say about that.
So little Bigfoot's asking some really I'm kind of.
I'll let you close out with these. All
right. Little Bigfoot again asks, do you think AJ will go over Shinsuke? No, I think it's going to be the other way around. That could change. We have 4-week build, but right now I think Shinsuke is going to beat AJ. Not because I think Shinsuke is the better wrestler. Dude, fucking Jesus. Not that I don't think that Shinsuke and AJ, I just want to see the match. Right. I just hope they put on a good 35-minute match and they let him go, and it's the best match WrestleMania's ever seen. I honestly, I don't care if AJ or Shinsuke wins. I just want to see the match. I hope they give us a good match, and it's a really good one. I hope there's no fuck finishes, anything. I just want them two to go. SmackDown has been crappy lately. Last night, or Tuesday night, I think they turned a corner. Charlotte, best promo she's ever done in the WWE on Tuesday. AJ and Shinsuke, that was a pretty good. I need them to be a little more intense though. Asuka, she worries me with their promo skills a little bit. I mean, I know she's Japanese. I know she speaks Japanese, but she doesn't need to be. Fuck it. Let her go. The only thing that's frustrating about SmackDown the other night was the U.S. title build. What are they doing? I have no fucking clue. Tag team titles, we all know what's going to happen there. It's going to be a triple threat. Right now, SmackDown is putting out the better matches as far as going towards WrestleMania. So the WrestleMania build is looking better on SmackDown than it is on Raw. And Braun Strowman can go fuck himself.
That's what I was waiting for.
I'm going to tell you this why. If they fucking have him do a 2-on-1 for the tag team titles, fuck Raw. They've ruined. Why even have the tag team titles on? Makes no fucking sense. And don't fucking give me this cockamamie bullshit that, well, that's just Braun Strowman, he can do that. Well, if that's the case, then let me be his tag partner. I can't wrestle, I'll just stand there. At least he has a tag partner. I fuck Braun Strowman right now. I just to get into WrestleMania, they have to get Braun Strowman on WrestleMania. Yes, he's been one. Put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Make that part of the actual main event show. And I'm not even going to I'm just going to call it the Men's WrestleMania show, or Battle Royal, from now on. So, that's... But SmackDown's better right now, from what I've seen. It's getting better than Raw. It's slowly getting better. I heard that too, but I've heard two different things, man. They may need a couple more big guys at Little Bigfoot, but big guys to me, they don't bring anything to the table. All they can do is power slam, and that's it. The Undertaker is the only other one that I can think of that was worth anything as a big guy. Kane as well. But other than that, big guys, big tall people, heavy people, I'm not too much.
Certainly hell wasn't me, Elias.
So, and here's what I think is going to happen with that, and I've heard rumblings how they're going to have Elias lose the title, and then they're going to put Braun Strowman in a feud with him for something. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know. That's just what I'm hearing. But who knows? But other than that, you know, I mean, that's my thoughts on Raw and SmackDown and the build towards WrestleMania. I will be doing a prediction show. I'm doing TakeOver. I always do the takeovers. I'll do the takeover. There's going to be some really good matches there. They've been leaked already. Gargano versus Ciampa. I want to see that match. That is like a WrestleMania. I wish it was for the title though. So yeah,
Black is gonna get that.
Aleister Black's gonna end up winning the title, and Almas is gonna get called up. But I'll do predictions for that. I'll do predictions for that on Friday before TakeOver.
Okay.
And then I'll probably do. I don't know what we're gonna do for the fucking WrestleMania because that's too long to fucking stream for me. I don't even think I'm gonna stream the. I don't know. I might. Who knows?
Hashtag 10-hour stream.
We could.
Yeah.
We could. I don't know how long. How long can we stream for?
That's what Basement did. With that one
I've
stream.
seen at least 10 hours before. Actually, I've seen 24-hour loops posted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 24-hour loops though. I'm talking about actual live streaming.
I'm pretty sure that Spaceman is still live, and that's been, what, 3 weeks now?
Spaceman.
The guy up in the fucking... I'll show you when we get off the air.
Anyway, but that's all I have. Anybody else have any more questions? I'm sorry that people are like, oh my god, JP told Braun to go fuck himself. You can tell him that too. I don't care. It's not like he's gonna come. It's not like he cares. I just don't buy into Braun Strowman. I'm done with him. His gimmick is killing me. It's worse than fucking. It's almost worse than the fucking Woken gimmick.
They're not going to have Brock for very much longer. Little Bigfoot.
Yeah, they're gonna get rid. He's done, man. I think he's gonna end up leaving after this.
Anyway.
But that's all I have. After this, Heather's gonna go set up her show, and then we'll be over there on Raging Inc. So give us, I don't know how long is it gonna take you? About 15 minutes?
Yeah, about that. Unless you want food too.
Oh shit, yeah, I need to eat. Might 8:30?
Yeah.
We'll start about 8. She'll get her show set up, and then she'll toss my salad, and then I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, everybody.
No, he's not.
So we're gonna this is what I'm gonna say. We're gonna set up the show. We're gonna get something to eat real quick, and then give us in between 8:30 and 9. We will be going live somewhere in there. But don't fret, we will be going live. Do you have anything to add, Drew?
No, I just actually threw it in the chat. I just want to remind everyone of episode 2 of Derailed, Saturday night, 11:30 p.m. Central. So you guys got nothing to do late at night Saturday, come check us out. We might have a special guest late. So stay tuned for that. If you don't know who it could be, I'll keep it a surprise, just so they don't make it. I don't want it to be...
It's me. It's me. I'm kidding. It's
He's
not
going to
me.
be in bed by late.
No, probably not. It depends. We'll see. I might be there. All right.
But yeah, that's about it.
Bobbitt?
Thanks for coming.
You got anything?
Yeah, be on the lookout for a new BCW pay-per-view with the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. And if you got offense to that name, you can suck my dick.
I think that's going to be the tagline for that. If you got a problem with that, you can suck my dick. So,
Yep.
you all know where to find Heather. You'll see her in a little bit, but I got to eat. She's got to eat. And we will see you all in about a half hour
Cheers.
Yep. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Remember, I don't hate people.
Just the stupid ones.
I just hate the stupid ones.